Hi, welcome to Cliterally Speaking the Podcast. I'm Michelle Doherty.
And I'm Emily Lane.
We are BFFs dedicated to bringing you conversations between girlfriends over a bottle of wine.
Oh, I am so excited about the wine part.
Oh, me too. So pull up a chair, grab your glass,
And let's get talking.
Welcome to Clearly Speaking's Time of the Month show.
That's right.
We are happy to be here, and we are just
trying to coordinate everything because we want to reach out to everybody on all of the platforms. Right?
We have Instagram going, we have YouTube going, and as soon as we figure out how to get this done, we're gonna
we're gonna be totally rolling, right? I don't think we are.
Just join live.
I don't know. See, these are the things, right?
Let's go live now.
Let's do it. Clearly, we need some.
Hi, Facebook. Anyway, so we're gonna try to move through this. But hey,
Hello,
Emily.
everyone.
How are you today?
Hey, Michelle. I feel like our new norm is how do we navigate technology problems? If it's Zoom, if it's streaming conversations like for work or trying to stream our live show.
Right.
We're constantly like going through this technical battle.
We're trying to hit everybody though, and so if you
connect with everybody, not hit everybody.
Connect with everybody. So if you are watching us on Instagram and YouTube, please let us know in like the comments so that we can see that you're there. I do know that we'll see hopefully this stuff on Facebook because they've kind of changed things up on their live. So we're learning as we're going. So we hope to acknowledge you when we see you that you're here, and if we don't, we apologize. In advance.
We're working hard to try and make sure we're reaching all of our audience.
But gosh, Emily, it's been like 30 days since our last time of the month, but it has felt like a year with everything that has gone on.
It's crazy. There are times where it feels like a year because, we're not socializing in the way that we had, and so it's been like a month.
Just a month.
But then there are also times where just because things are so confusing, I'm having a hard time keeping track of time. And I'm like, what? It's time of the month? I was almost caught by surprise.
All day Tuesday, I thought it was Friday. And I had to remind myself all day, no, today's just Tuesday. It's not Friday. It's just Tuesday all day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
Because it's like kind of the same thing you do. I mean, I know everybody out there is doing like the same thing as well because of our pandemic and COVID and all of that kind of stuff. But it's nice to mix it up this week.
I know. It is. It definitely is. So, Michelle, I'm going to pay attention to Facebook for just a second to update a few things so we know we're reaching people. Will you tell people a little bit about what we're going to be chatting about?
Well, we have a pretty cool lineup for you, or not lineup, but we have some cool topics we're going to discuss today. Emily reached out. She had had this brain wave enlightenment. I left my vocabulary at the door when I arrived here, but talking about like midlife and how some people think that the best time of your life was when you were 16 or 17 or whatever.
You remember that John Cougar Mellencamp song, right? Jack and Diane.
I think it was back when he was John Cougar.
Right,
before he was John Cougar Mellencamp. But we're going to talk about that, and then also we want to talk about like what are some green flags in relationships because sometimes if we focus on the positive things versus always like what's the red flag? Oh, girl, you need to drop him. But what are some of those green flags in relationships?
Right.
And so we're going to talk about that.
All of that fun stuff.
Yeah. Do you know? Were you able to sort it out?
I wasn't. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our wine.
Yeah.
Because I think you're actually better at this stuff than I am.
At the technology part?
You are. This is something that is so amazing about Michelle is since we've gone down this venture, you have totally become like this technology.
I am a one-woman network.
It is amazing. It's true. So I'm going to let you dive into
You may look at this.
I think you should go for it.
Okay, apologize as I lean in.
So I'll do my part and talk about the wine part because everyone knows that's one of my favorite parts. So we reached out to our friends at the Wine Merchant who are always so kind to make us feel good during the time of the month and during our shows. And they set us up with this wine from Skaya, and it's Paradiso. Now, I think we've had the Paradiso Rosé before.
Have we?
I think so.
We have.
I think so. This is the 2017. It is. This is a red wine, Veneto. Oh my gosh, we've already dribbled up. Oh, Veneto Rosso. So we are drinking 50% Corvino. It's a few other grapes. I can't see. I guess I am in midlife, Michelle, because I can. I'm like, does this work? This will be my first time trying this out. Oh my God, this helps.
Doesn't it? It's amazing.
Oh no! Oh my God, it does totally help. So Carignan 20%, Rodinella 20%, Cabernet Sauvignon 10%. So everybody, as we were talking about celebrating midlife, you just witnessed my foray into, magnifying glasses.
They're readers.
Okay.
They're not.
I mean, it's the same thing,
I know, but
right?
we don't like to refer to them as magnifying glasses. That seems a little old.
Okay.
For us,
Okay.
anyway.
All right. Well, anyway.
For me, anyway. I like readers. And I have several readers because I can't seem to, I don't know how to work this new fangled thing for
I know
Facebook
it changes
Live.
all the time.
So we might not be on Facebook.
We're
So we're just
trying.
going to take care of you guys on Instagram and YouTube because we may not be actually be there.
I know.
But they said we moved to pre-live. I didn't know what
does that mean?
I don't know. But
Okay.
Facebook changed things, so
Yeah. Okay. So
unless you just want to hit live video there and have people
let's
watch us
just do that.
watch us that way.
Yeah,
The old
let's do it.
unless it goes back to the old
It's gonna do
fashioned
the same thing.
the new
Okay,
thing.
so it
Oh, well, forget it.
is- oh.
Hey guys out there in YouTube land, these are called readers, and let me talk about my readers. I started needing readers when I turned 40 because I couldn't, actually a little before I turned 40, because I couldn't read the penny, the dates on the penny, and I was like, oh, this is
I
weird.
haven't been able to read that forever.
So I got some computer glasses, and as time's gone on, my eyes have gotten worse. But now I just kind of use these readers, and I had a pair that I was using all the time, and then I lost it, and I was like, "Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses?" So then I went back to Walgreens, and I bought 3 pairs. I got 2 pairs that look like this, that are just just readers. But at Walgreens, they also have a pair, and they're my tortoiseshell ones, that are kind of like progressives. I can wear them all the time, and I can see far, I can see close, and they've got the blue light on it too. For $35, I have progressive lenses from Walgreens. Perfect.
Okay.
And I need to have multiple pairs of glasses because
You lose them.
I
sit
lose.
on 'em.
I don't know where they are.
I always find too, when you invest in a really good pair of glasses, that's when they get broken or you lose them. And when you just have all the cheap ones, they're so easy to.
Well, I did. The last pair of glasses that I bought was in April of 19, and then I went to dinner at your house, and I haven't seen them since.
Yeah, they are still missing.
They're
aren't
still
they?
missing. So I know you have torn your house apart. I've torn my house apart. So they might
Iggy's torn my house apart.
He has. They might have fallen out of my purse, getting in and out of the car, and so.
And that would have been after the party, I'm sure.
Oh, it was well after the party, because I remember having them at the party.
Of course.
I remember them, and that's the last. So I haven't bought myself an expensive pair since then. Maybe I'm
Good
just
lesson learned.
maybe I'm just treating myself badly. But I'm telling you guys, if you need readers and you don't want to order on readers.com or Warby Parker readers, and you just want to go to Walgreens, they got some progressives for $35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this wine for a minute, because now
Let's
you've
talk
had
about
your
it.
first sip, and we've been both doing our soft shoe dance around the fact that we're still trying to get this going. So I think we're just gonna let.
Do we want to close it or leave
Do
it
we?
on?
I mean, I don't know. Is it
I don't know if it's on or
there? I
not.
mean, if it's there, I don't want to close it.
I could check on my
I'm
phone
still,
to see if we're-
hoping.
if
Okay,
we're-
so I'll give you my tasting
Okay,
description.
give us your tasting notes while
while
I go to
you-
my phone.
Okay, so I don't think it's on, by the way. So anyway, I feel like this has got a lot of like it's got a lot of spiciness on the nose and on the palate. And then let's do this.
Thank you.
Boom, we're done. Okay.
We'll try again next month.
Yeah. So I find this really, I kind of find the spice, at first it was really intriguing because I'm like, ooh, that's some interesting spices I'm not used to smelling. And I'm getting a little cigar box, a little tobacco, and that kind of stuff on the nose. Well, it's kind of like pickling spices.
Well, I don't know if it's pickling spices, but it was spicy. The first sip was really spicy, but then the second sip hasn't been as spicy. Is that because my tongue is now used to it? Or my palate is now used to it?
Maybe, but I definitely get pickling spices, which
That's delightful.
you know,
Delightful.
there's a little nuttiness on the palate with it, like a little, I'm getting a little nuttiness. Again, I get that kind of cigar box thing going on with it.
Well, I'm going to let you have that one. I don't know exactly what it's like to taste a cigar box. I don't like cigars personally, so
Do you think that could be because, I mean, have you had a good cigar?
I have not ever smoked a cigar.
Well,
and I don't,
then how
I don't
do
think
you
I
know
could.
you don't
I don't
like
think I
cigars?
could. Well, because I didn't like the way they smelled, and I used to smoke cigarettes.
How many times have you had a wine where you're like, I'm not sure about this on the nose, but then you taste it and it explodes? I mean, you know that sensation.
I do, but I'm gonna pass. I really am. It's a hard pass for me on cigars. I haven't smoked in 18 years.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
would hate
fair.
to break it on a
cigar.
On a cigar. And if the last time I tried to smoke, 18 years ago, maybe 17 years ago, whatever, I threw up. So I think there's a physical reaction to it. So
fair enough. Okay. Got it.
those of you that love cigars, great. Good for
Yeah.
you. I'm going to have that on my tombstone. Michelle never smoked a cigar. be like-
Accomplishments.
No, there'll be
Had a great podcast, never smoked a cigar.
things on the left side will be things that Michelle, didn't do, and then things that Michelle did do.
Yeah.
And hopefully on the things I did do will be outweighing the things I didn't do. I mean, I'm hopeful.
So we're in a new year
we
since
are.
our last
Yeah,
time
we're in
of
a
the
new
month.
year, new president.
All
There was
kinds
an
of stuff.
insurrection.
Oh my
There's been
God.
arrests.
I know.
Yeah, there's been all kinds of
I
stuff.
know. So I want to ask you,
Yeah.
since you said, there's going to be things on my tombstone of the things that I do. What are things in 2021 that you are wanting to make sure that you do?
Well, once I get vaccinated and everybody else gets vaccinated, then I hope to travel again.
Yes.
But right now, I think for me, I just need to make sure in 2021 I know what days of the week are every week. Because I am confused.
Get out of the pajamas at least
Yeah.
once a day.
Yeah. Is today a shower day? I don't remember. I need to consult
Is
my
today
phone.
a hat day or a wash your hair day? How many days has it been? Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell
Right.
you at all. So, I really, for 2021, I hesitated to make any really big goals because it's so
You feel like locked in by
by
nature,
by
a little bit.
circumstances
Yeah.
right now. Yeah. What about
Okay.
you? I mean, you dream big.
I mean, you know me. I'm always dreaming big. I'm always showing up with a new binder. I would like to say that this year, yes, I'd like to see travel come into play. I'm always working on initiatives with work. I want to see, things continue to blossom there. I think that's about as far as I've let myself dream as well, because
Yeah.
that keeps me fairly occupied and
Sure.
like it's not like I can plan
Yeah.
some sort of gala right now.
No,
right?
right. I mean,
Yeah.
I just hope to, maybe. Oh, I know something we are
Yeah,
looking forward to. This is local. This is for those of you who are in St. Louis. My improv teams that I belong to the extraneous commas and gnome improvement, we are going to start doing some live shows in our backyards. We're calling it Backyard Prov.
I love that.
And we will be putting Facebook events on our pages, and you'll have to reserve. Everything will be in the backyard. I've got this great deck for it. And so I think we're going to be starting like at the end of March, weather permitting. I mean, today we had snow, but it's January. But that is one thing I am looking forward to, having that on the regular basis and being able to perform live outside for a small
That'll be great.
Small group of people that can be socially distanced and masked. And my teams are excited about that as well. So
it'll definitely help you creatively also. Like you get so much from being able to do your improv and play. And
yeah, I was just remembering that like a year ago we were doing our Herald performances at the improv shop, and so nervous I was and excited. And now it's like, gosh, it's been almost, everything shut down in March, but the last time I was on a stage was in February of 2020.
That's the same for me with cello.
Yeah.
Last time I was on a stage was in February of 2020, and I am desperately missing it. And to the point where I'm like, gosh, I will not take that for granted, the opportunity to make music with others.
Well, I'm going to just put this out there. Do you want to be like the intermission music person at our improv shows?
Oh my God.
You can sit off to the side and play the cello, maybe get something else, and you guys could be the musical entertainment. I mean, we're not getting paid for this.
I'm not.
Okay.
Hey,
just wanted to make sure.
I'm pretty sure that
our budget is as big as Clearly Speaking budget is.
I'm not really at the, I think that's a perfect way to get back into the playing game. Mm-hmm. Low pressure, backyard, just
improv.
Yeah,
improv.
And that's exactly what I'll be doing on the cello, because I'll be like, because it's been a little while. It's just been a year.
You've got some time to practice. We expect you to be perfect, the first time.
That's the problem, is I expect me to be perfect.
Well, that'll be fun. Maybe we'll take some video of that when we're doing that, and we'll post it to our website and to our Facebook stuff, or wherever we have.
That sounds good.
But let's talk about midlife. What brought that up? You were like, you were so excited about this. So
I was just as sure. I think I might have heard that song, the Jack and Diane, the John Cougar Mellencamp song. And I just was thinking, wow, what a line, hanging on to 16 as long as you can. And, I'm also, we're at this time in our lives where, our younger generations are starting to pave their way into our making a difference into our worlds, which I love. I love getting that fresh energy. But, there's also this, like, I'm starting to see this kind of discount of people in our generation, and I'm just thinking, wow, like, there are so many things that I love about our age. I love the knowledge and experience that comes with it. I love the stronger security that comes with it, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember always asking my mom when I was younger, like, hey, if you could ever, be 16 again, would you come back? And she's like, oh my God, never,
Right.
And I never understood that response. I now really understand that response, because with youth, there's a lot of pain that comes around unknowing and discovery and trying to find your way. And I feel like I'm at a point where I'm enjoying the fact that I'm seeing the results of my experience come in the form of mentorship and advice to others.
Yeah.
And I love being in that place.
Right.
And so I was just like, I think it's a good thing to think about holding on to the space that we're in, because let's face it, once we're past here,
Well, but you know what? Everybody who says, all my friends who are older, everyone's like, this is the best time of my life. My 40s are the best time. Oh, my 50s are the best time.
It's true.
Someone will be like, my 60s are my best time.
My 70s are my best time.
Emily has just revealed her age to everybody on YouTube. She looks amazing for 70.
Wine. Keeps me in good health.
It's the resveratrol in the wine.
No, I mean, but I do hear. I mean, my mom is, just more gorgeous than ever, thriving.
Yeah.
Like
if your health stays with you, I think every phase of life is like the best time, so it's probably like really important, however you can, to keep your health, to be able to stay mobile, to be able to read, whatever tools you need to have to do that is definitely something to not be embarrassed about or ashamed of or anything like that. But I loved being 16 when I was 16, and I had so much like dreams for the future and what will I be, and who will I go out with, who will I marry, what will my kids be like, what job am I going to have, where am I going to live, and then you go to college, and college was a lot of fun. You had like all of these people in your life, and like every phase is unique and beautiful in each time. But I think a lot of people will not sit there and enjoy being 45 or 50 or 60, because they lament the youth. They lament the lost youth.
I'm finding less pain as I get older, even though like just because I'm older doesn't mean I'm not having to make hard decisions. Like I think that like when I was looking at my youth, 16, it was a very difficult time.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, your circumstances and your family were made it even more difficult.
There's definitely the circumstantial stress, but then there's just also the, the pressures of you're supposed to kind of know what path you're heading down at that time, and you're like, I have no clue.
I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I'm still looking for that.
Yeah, I think relationships are harder because you're just entering them for the first time, and so you don't have dialogue and language built around what to expect out of relationships.
But also I think that people at that age are more eager to enter into relationships, as opposed to when they get older, they've got all this baggage,
you're
a little more
jaded.
hesitant, a little jaded, so they're they're not willing to take chances like you are willing to take chances when you're younger.
I always appreciate people who have been, like, when they're like, I've been married like 4 or 5 times. I appreciate that because they've never given up on love. They haven't gotten jaded by the failures of their relationships.
Or they're really difficult people to live with, and that should be like a sign. I agree that the pain is different now. The pain that you have now is usually physical. Usually like,
my knee hurts. I need
my
to get
back
a brace.
hurts, Like, that's what is the pain now.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping so well, or and then I'm in my very early 50s, and I think about how awesome my 40s were before I had cancer, and even like after I had cancer, but like crazy times.
Yeah.
And I don't know how in the world I stayed up till 4 a.m., and, partying and going out with girlfriends and watching bands, like crazy stuff. Now I'm like, ooh, it's 10:30.
Well, there's a difference.
I got to go to bed,
I think the difference is that you relish and treasure good rest. When you're younger, you're in it for the moment. And I'm kind of still there. Only because I'm starving for socialization right now. And so when I finally get it, I'm like, woo! Let's stay out all night.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
Let's have the 2-person dance party last till 4 a.m. I'm all for that. Yes, I suffer, and I know I'm going to suffer for it, but it's the compromise I make. And I think when we're younger, it's just we know, I'm going to hurt tomorrow. Isn't that funny? Where now as adults, we're like, well, you know what? I got tough decisions to make tomorrow. I got meetings. We prioritize the importance of what we do day to day.
Yeah.
And know that's got to be more important than our whim to be pleasured in the moment.
Well, unfortunately, I have found as I've gotten older that it doesn't matter how late I stay up, I still wake up at 6 a.m.
Oh.
So when I was younger, if I stayed up till 4, I could possibly sleep in till noon, right?
Oh.
You still got 8 hours.
Yeah.
that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
It's like, wait, I just, and I can't go back to sleep. And I that's what it is. It's just one of these things that I've noticed as I've gotten to this age. It wasn't like this a couple of years ago. It's just now.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy things about that. But I'm enjoying it as much as I can. And, you know, when I think about, great, I'm 50 in the middle of a pandemic. You know, how different would my 50s be if there wasn't a pandemic going on, you know?
Right.
I think it would probably be like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Yeah.
the pandemic will be over and I'll be able to have an awesome 50s.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know?
You know,
Yeah.
I believe it. I think we're already on the start. I mean, think about since 2021 has transpired, some of the positive transition, albeit with some stress, that has unfolded. Like we have like some amazing fresh leadership in place. My God, Kamala, hallelujah.
Yeah, cheers on that.
Yeah, woohoo, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's some really wonderful things to celebrate already in just the beginning of this year.
And it's only 27 days in, so...
Okay, can we talk for a second about the inauguration?
Yeah, we can. And I'm really
know
glad
it's
our
old
time
news.
I'm glad our time of the month wasn't on inauguration day because
I know.
nobody would have been watching.
I
us
know. And
competing against, you know, Kamala. I don't think so.
yeah.
But let's talk. Let's talk about the inauguration.
I mean, okay, so one, I have an observation to share, first of all. I was talking with a friend of mine from my former life, right? Where we've talked about this on the show, how, I definitely have friends that prior to me coming to St. Louis had a very different political view. And these are all still my friends, and I still respect their opinion. We have very healthy dialogue around all of it. But it was so interesting because I was so jazzed about the inauguration. I found it healing.
As were 81 million other people.
I just found it inspirational, hopeful, healing. I was living in this like anxiety prior to that where I'm like, is it really going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, and then it happened and I was just this relief, right? And so I was so eager to talk to my friends. I'm like, oh my God, did you see it? What did you think? You know, I wanted to talk about the amazing young, poet laureate, and I was just, and the first response I got from my friend was, oh, I can't even stand to talk about politics right now. And I was like, okay, this is somebody that's not happy about the inauguration, because to me, like, that was just such a powerful thing. And it made me remember a conversation that our producer and I had literally walked into a few months prior to the election. We were walking in the neighborhood, and this older gentleman just engaged us in conversation and said, so what did our fearless leaders say today? And we both went, and immediately he goes, oh, I guess I know what you think. And then we quickly learned where he stood on his viewpoint. And I thought, what an amazing barometer question. And here we are with the inauguration. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah. And like, oh my God, did you see the inauguration? I came at that so hopefully. And it was just like met with the same kind of, But I thought, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, what they brought to the table for inspiration, if you weren't moved by it.
Well,
right?
I mean, yeah, if you would think that those who are moved by it would have, have souls. I'm not saying your friends don't have souls, but there's been so much hatred, and there's been,
maybe they didn't watch it.
There still is a lot of hatred out there because there's misinformation and there's disinformation and there's propaganda and, and there's segmenting of populations, and they will, they are able to craft a message that is just, to me personally. Probably
It's true.
there's probably things listening right now, and then next time I turn my phone on and go to Facebook, there's probably gonna be like ads for readers and sleep medicine,
Yes.
and all of this kind of stuff,
Knee
and
braces.
knee braces, just because we're sitting here having a conversation, right? They craft it down to the very specific, and and we have to be aware of that. And I
Yeah.
think what's the word, concerning is how many people don't recognize the fact that they are being led down an information path
Yeah.
that of course aligns with whatever their minds are.
It's true.
We should be better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
At least now we know we have honesty and transparency, and there's daily briefings, and there's not a fight at the press briefings, and there's just not, we're not fighting because we have competent people in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, we've worked for bosses. I'm assuming we both have worked for bosses that didn't really know what they were doing. So everything was
Oh my God, yeah.
everything was a fight, or they just
Yeah.
try and like not show that they didn't know what was going on. So
Yeah, barking orders left and right,
Yes,
firing people left and
yes,
right,
because they weren't
trying to let them know that
they were not capable of the job that they were in. So we have
Definitely.
had 4 years of somebody who was not capable for that job, and
Yeah.
he knew it, and all of his people knew it,
And the rest
that's
of the
why
world knew
The rest
it.
of the world knew it. So now
Yeah.
we have hope.
I'm very encouraged. I love
And it was lovely, and it was classy, and nothing happened where I was embarrassed at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Garth Brooks was a little, he did you notice when Garth Brooks ran past Vice President Harris and he had to like come
No.
back? Oh yeah, he hit the men, and he forgot, he like had to like come back to her real fast. I was like, oh man, Garthy, you almost
Almost dismissed her.
dismissed her.
Almost
you almost
dismissed
you
her.
almost were a white man. you know?
Yeah.
You almost really showed your white man colors.
Curious about that word dismiss. If you think about it, dismiss. Miss is in that word.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But anyway, so let's move on to our next
All
topic
right,
of conversation here. I have no idea what
Can
time
I-
it is.
can I-
Hopefully our producer will let us know how we're doing on time.
I do want to like mention really quickly before we move on.
Okay, sure.
though. Lady Gaga killed it. I thought she was amazing.
I thought she was amazing as well. I thought though that the true star was the poet laureate.
Well, oh my God, of course. We're
But-
talking two different things.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Right.
but I also thought J-Lo's performance was. I mean, I like Lady Gaga. I mean, but granted, she had like the national anthem to sing.
But she made the right choices musically with it. She didn't go crazy. She didn't go,
Yeah.
and turn it into something that it's not. She respected it, but made very intentional choices musically with it, and held on to words and moments that had power.
Yeah.
I felt like she felt it.
Yeah, I think all the performers did. I'm not discounting it. I thought J-Lo, if I had to choose, I'd have chose J-Lo on that, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But what about the women all wearing like single colors?
I know. And American designers.
Oh, I didn't know they were all American designers.
They were wearing up and rising American designers.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing?
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you think they coordinated?
I think they're
Like,
very
like, hey, Jill.
What are you wearing? You're wearing
hey, Dr.
purple?
Jill.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna go light turquoise? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I need to fit in with that. Okay, hold on. Let me check.
I think it's very intentional. I think a lot of thought goes into how they're going, what color they're going to wear, how either progressive or conservative the look is going to be.
Yeah.
I feel there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and I love.
And Michelle Obama. Wow.
Well, she's from the start, as always.
Yeah, she just
leading in her.
Yeah.
In her style, but we saw Kamala and many women sporting purple, and I saw so much commentary on social media about, was that like, what's the goal there? Is it the blending of the parties? Is it blah blah blah? And the answer is, yeah, because
Was
red
it
and
the
blue
blend?
make
Was it
purple.
the blending? Huh, I
But
didn't
no,
even think of
it's
that.
beyond that.
Okay.
Because when you start digging into it, the beauty of that is that it is a color deep seated in history. So there are, the women that think about when we went to see the History Museum.
The Beyond the Ballot
Yes.
exhibit of the women getting the right to vote.
Yes.
Yep.
So apparently purple was an early color prior
To the yellow?
Yes. Yes.
Drink that.
For the, why can't I think of the word?
Before the right to vote.
I know, but the women, the group of women.
Suffragettes.
Thank you. Oh my God. Simple word gone from my vocabulary.
Like
Hello,
I said, I left
wine.
my vocabulary at the front door when I arrived because I couldn't get any words
Yeah.
together.
So the suffragettes. So apparently that was
Yeah.
an early color.
Yeah.
So there's like this whole tie to purple and, the right for women to be equals. And
Yeah.
so there's that. And then there was a politician also, I don't know, in the 70s, I believe, something like that. I know our producer knows this story, and we'll do some more research and we should talk about it later. But there is a politician that favored that color, and there's like a nod to that of a female politician
Was
who
it like
ran
Shirley,
for president.
Shirley Chisholm? It was
Who
probably
ran for president.
That would have been Shirley Chisholm then.
So there's
She was the first African American to run for president.
Yes. So there's
Shirley.
like lots of layers of this color, and so what I like about it is that there's no simple answer. It's not like it's yes, this is why they wore purple.
Yeah.
It's that there's a long legacy of the power of the color purple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Which I guess goes to the, there's no simple answer for what we're facing, right? There's no simple answer for what kind of leadership we need to have.
Yeah.
There's no simple answer like what is America.
Oh, so true.
There's no simple answer like what is Cliterally Speaking the podcast.
Oh, isn't that true?
Because it's connected.
Yeah.
America.
There's no simple answer on
Cliterally Speaking the podcast.
how to pleasure a woman.
There's no simple answer.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
And
it's
then there's
very
like
complex.
sometimes you think there's no simple answers in relationships.
Exactly.
But
correct.
we do have some
Key notes, some
key
green
things.
flags.
Yeah, so let's Emily finish that. So,
Oh, just go ahead.
Oh, good.
You
It's
can just
okay.
top me off. It's
all
fine.
right, because I don't want to be accused of that. Like those
unfair
people
show pores.
when you go out to eat and drink
Yeah.
before times.
Yeah,
they would,
before
like,
times. Oh, that would bother me.
Get the bottle and they would finish their glass and then
They'd
would
pour a really, really full glass. Or when the waiter always comes around and makes sure that everybody has the equally full glass, but yet there are people at the table who are drinking extremely rapidly. Meanwhile, you're being conservative. That kind of stuff does not make me feel happy.
Another thing that bothers me before we move on to our green flags in relationships is when you're out to dinner with a group of people. Again, this is pre-COVID times, and you think, and you're at kind of a nice restaurant, and you're a single person there, and other people are coupled up, and at the end of the night, they just want to split the bill. If there's 8 people by 8 people.
I know.
And I'm like, I didn't.
I've so had that.
And then they all ordered these $30, $40 bottles of wine.
Filet mignon.
Yeah. And I'm like,
And you're like, I had my salad.
I had the $18 dinner and now I have to spend $40.
Yeah, it is wrong.
It is
and
wrong.
yet it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So I think what we should think about
Anyway.
Re-entering socially. Rules have changed. Things have changed with COVID. And I think that we can now say, we can re-enter those situations and go, you know what, guys? I'm so happy to be with you, but come on.
You need to tell the waitress, could you just
put
carve
me on
mine
my
out?
own bill.
Yeah, I need to have my own bill.
Let's just let our voices thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it will be a long time before I have a group dinner like that. Especially when I think the key for me should have been when they started ordering all of these different bottles of wine. And I'm like, I have vodka.
Right.
I'm drinking
It's
vodka soda right now.
My own bill.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, it's just fine. We'll just all split at the end. What the fuck?
You know,
sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
You can curse. I don't care.
Yeah.
I might curse too before the night is over.
It is
You never know.
2021.
I mean, we've been training me.
Yeah, you have dropped the F-bomb a few times in 2020.
So
usually COVID related.
Right. Or, other
things.
Other things.
Which are a different show.
But so when you were talking about, how things have changed and stuff, something that happened today, it snowed here. Right?
It did snow. And
yeah.
And 2 years ago was our first time of the month.
And it snowed.
And it snowed and it was very, very cold.
I know.
Did you
I
made
totally
that connection?
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about, like, in that time from 2 years ago to today and how our world has transformed, snow days. We love them as kids, right?
Yeah, well,
what a great
lived in
you
a
were in
few
Hawaii.
You've lived in a few places that we didn't have
You
snow.
were like, what a snow. I have ocean breeze
I'm going to
and
go
flowers.
have a beach day.
But thinking about, like, kids and how they relish in the snow days.
Yeah.
And now that schools have perfected online learning.
There was no there was no snow day today.
No, and there will never be. Even when they go back to
You're
school,
right.
it's like, hey, we know how to do this.
Well, but then hopefully they will adjust their calendar because, the academic calendar for kids includes built-in snow days. So if they are not going to be having any snow days, then hopefully the
they
children
get out earlier.
Should be able to be let out of school earlier.
Boy, that's a win.
I mean,
Yeah.
come May, kids don't want to be in school anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Parents will be like, please.
Right.
snow days."
Well, I know that people are just waiting to hear about our relationship green flags, and I think it's cool when we're talking about relationships and thinking about some
and
positive
positive
things.
things,
Like what
yeah.
to look for and what makes somebody a keeper, right?
Yeah.
Because we know the red flags. Yeah,
We've talked about them a lot.
I was married to a big red flag. I still married him, so but now
Right.
we've been divorced a long time. But
And how long were you married?
we were married for, we were together for 10 years, but it took us 2 years to get divorced. So we were contractually married for 12 years.
Yeah.
But now I have been divorced 18. So
Yeah.
I've been single longer. So green flags in relationships are very important. to
I
me.
think so. I mean, so often, it's let's look at the positive
let's look
side
at
of
the positive.
things. And
Again, we're re-entering society, right? We're gonna focus on some more positive things, right?
So looking, we do have this amazing kind of like list of things that are great and thoughts, but I'm curious, Michelle, for you, what are some things when you were in a relationship where you're like, oh, this goes in the yes column?
Gosh, I mean, it could be something as simple as like he picks up after himself. To
Takes out the garbage.
Takes out the garbage. I think sometimes the smallest attention to detail can be the most impactful. Even if like he goes out and, speaking of snow, cleans off your car before you have to go out and drive in it, which my ex-husband didn't do. The thoughtful things, or things like that. And then of course there's always bigger things, like be able to hold conversations for a long time, laughter, be able to laugh at my jokes. Is important. Like Emily laughs at my
jokes.
joke.
Microphone for you.
Points out empty microphones in locations. Yeah, like there, Michelle, there's a microphone. It's by itself. Do you want to go stand beside it? So, What about you?
I think for me, there's the combination of chemistry and communication. Having that attraction that leads you down this desire to want to kiss and hug and without that necessarily meaning that means sex is next. Like that
The freedom
kissing,
to be affectionate.
Right, kissing and hugging and being intimate for the sake of being intimate, and yes, oh my God, if things lead to sex, great, but not feeling that that's the motive behind that attention. you know, that it's, I'm just so happy to be next to you, and the rub on your back, or the, you know, those kinds of things. And then combining that with being able to be very open and honest with things, you know. And that leads me down the path of thinking of, you know, for me, if I was going to think about relationship green flags, you know, I'd think, you know, having the ability to enter into a conversation fearlessly, you know, like even in the difficult conversations. And that is, I mean, for me, that's been a struggle in my life. Like, you know, entering those, you know, we know we don't agree here, but being able to safely do that, I think would be a huge green flag.
The ability to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always important. But, you know, I think if we could identify some of these green flags that could maybe lead to that feeling of security within your vulnerability, you know, because, you know, we've all been vulnerable, but we need to make sure that we feel like we know it's good when, although I'm vulnerable with you right now, I feel very secure in it. I feel like this is a safe space with you, you know, that kind of stuff. So, like one of the first things that and we got this list from Sarah Kaburik. She is at millennial.therapist. Anyway, the people, they apologize when they're wrong.
Well, and you know what? That's
huge.
That is a big deal.
Like, I think even beyond like romantic relationships, I think that's a huge important thing for, you know, friendships, for business relationships, for you know, neighbors, you know, things like that. I mean, it just if you can apologize when you're wrong, or you know, and accept somebody's apology when they're wrong.
And I think this goes beyond. You know, a lot of times you see apologies come in the form of, here are flowers after a fight. Like, that is not an apology.
Yeah, I've not gotten many flowers after a fight.
Okay.
I get like, you know, nothing, but
there
people think that that's all they need to do.
It
right?
is definitely a tactic of somebody who's in a gaslighted relationship, or a relationship with a narcissist, is they often, you know, they're kind of beat down, and then that person comes back and gives them a gift, be like, oh, I know I beat you down, but here's something beautiful, you know. And so, you know, recognizing that is not an apology. So green flag is somebody going, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I misunderstood you, I love you.
Or I was in the wrong about what I did or what I said, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It was in the wrong, and I apologize.
Yeah.
And it's authentic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I love this, they encourage your connections with others, friends and family. I think that's really important, because there are times where relationships, you know, they get jealous, or they take a little like ownership over you, you know? And so giving you the freedom to socialize without them, or know that just because you're socializing doesn't mean they're not invited or not included or not a part
I've
of the
had
conversation.
friends, I've had girlfriends over the years who get into a relationship with somebody, and I never see them again,
Right.
because their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever doesn't like to socialize with other people, or doesn't know how to, or you know, a variety of things. And my friends are so glad to be in a relationship that they don't recognize that.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to my friends who have you know, relationships, marriages, and they're open. They're like, friends are over. You know, they don't go, oh, it's just us. You know. And I think if you are in a relationship with somebody who wants you to him or her all the time, you should worry about that, because that's almost like
totally
taking you over.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, this is somebody who, again, is jealous or narcissistic and wants to own you.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to realizing, I mean, for me, you know, let's like
talk about
ourselves for a minute, and our perspective and how this weighs in, you know, like I am someone who my ideas come from socialization and the energy of being around others. So to pull me out of that would suffocate those ideas. And it's so interesting because, you know, often partners can be attracted to that, but then they get jealous and protective, you know, so you have to, you know, look for somebody who really celebrates the fact that, and feels not.
And if we circle back to midlife, right?
Yeah.
Now we recognize it quicker than we did when we were 20, 25. We were more easily removed because the relationship, you know, we as women hadn't totally found our voice yet, things like that. Hopefully, though, the younger generation of women have their voice and or find it sooner, and look for those. I mean, hopefully they've learned from their parents and, you know, important people in their lives that they can.
I think too, Michelle. Like people like you know, you have a strong voice and perspective in this, and you've been able to share this with your kids. The next generation. You know, like these are reasonable expectations in a relationship. You're very vocal about this, which I think is really healthy.
And so far, it has not frightened my children off from having a relationship with people. So I feel thankful about that. Another key thing that they listed on here was people who speak about their ex-partners with respect. That's a green flag. That's somebody who recognizes the value of somebody else, you know, even if they're not in a relationship anymore. You know, I mean, I've been with people that all they did was just bitch and moan and about their ex and like how bad they were, and it was just constant, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And if you can be with somebody who speaks about their ex-partner with respect, then you know that person has depth and is also going to speak about you with respect.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you become their ex, I'm not saying like it's not a given.
I agree about that. It has to be done carefully, because if you're, I mean, I get, yes, please talk about respect. They're a wonderful person. I appreciate them. I think it's somebody who is a new, like if you're thinking about a new relationship and you're meeting someone for the first time, if they're going on and on about
how great
how
their
beautiful, right, exactly. How deep are you going to go? Right?
I hear that. I hear what you're saying there. But I think it's more like if they're not just spending all their time like berating that ex-person who's, you know, unless their ex-person was like Jeffrey Dahmer or Rudy Giuliani, then I think we can talk about them.
I love how you put Rudy
and Jeffrey Dahmer together. It's hard to tell them apart sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So that's and then like another one is, you know, communicating clearly and honestly, and you mentioned that with earlier about, you know, what you
being able to really just come to the table and feel comfortable to come to the table with your honest feelings,
and I
not
think,
feel threatened.
I think that's again another aspect in all kinds of relationships, you know, friendships and beyond. You know, it doesn't have to be reserved for romantic relationships.
Absolutely.
You know,
this is friend relationships, work relationships, everything.
I think the ability to speak.
All of these things apply.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. I would
agree.
Yeah.
Relationship green flags. It's for all layers of relationships. You know.
It's just sometimes fun to just talk about it in a romantic part, but if you are these are definitely take homes. These are things to remember.
Yeah. So something that I was thinking would be a nice fit on this list is just kind of like alignment. You know, I think about how opposites attract.
Sometimes,
right?
yeah.
Sometimes,
yeah.
And how that can work well and how it cannot work well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and there's situations when it works well, when it's like the balance kind of solves a problem for one another. You know, think extrovert and introvert come together. You know, sometimes it can do well to have like this, like the extrovert, you know, doesn't feel that they have to maybe, I don't know, carefully handle the introvert at a party. And the introvert's like, I don't have to really worry about much because my extrovert's out there or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So thinking about those balances, and as long as you're aligned in that balance, it's good. But I think having alignment in multiple areas of your relationship, even if you're opposites, looking at, you know, are we, you know, are we aligned on where we want to be when we grow up? Are we aligned in, you know, how we think about things sexually, romantically, or whatever? Like having multiple layers of alignment, career paths, whatever it is, I think it's important.
Well, and I think if you can speak clearly and honestly about those things, and alignment can happen more naturally. You know, if somebody's not being honest and they're not communicating, then you don't know, and you're
Totally
always gonna
true.
be second guessing that. Yeah. One of the things that, again, on this list of relationship green flags, is people who set, honor, and respect your boundaries. You know, like how many times have you been?
Oh my God,
has that happened and they didn't, right?
Oh my God, honestly, I think that's one of the harder things. I really do. Yeah,
like it's like, no, I said no, or like I didn't want, I don't want you here right now. Or one of my friends, a friend of mine, her son, God love him, he was dating this girl, and he broke up with her, and he was in his college age, and she said, why did you break up with her? I know you really like her. And he said, well, I told her she's around so much, I never get a chance to miss her. So he broke up with her so he could have a chance to miss her. It's like, I don't need you around all the time. So, you know, I mean, like set boundaries, respect boundaries, you know. Sometimes in our enthusiasm, we want to be with somebody all the time. And maybe that's not really what needs to happen. Another green flag is people who show up authentically and allow you to be authentic.
Of course,
you know?
Yeah, right.
So many times people have tried to, I can't let him see me now. I don't have my makeup on, or I'm all dressed in grubby. Maybe not so much now that we've been in the pandemic times. People are in their yoga pants and their sweatshirts so much that we don't really worry too much about how.
I think fashion's going to forever change as a result of that, by the way.
It's all going to be a comfort fashion, right?
I think so. I mean, there's definitely going to be a shift. I mean, you know, I'm seeing it. We're all seeing it, right? I mean, we've joked about the sweats on the bottom, the fancy on top, but I think that there are...
Currently. Happening now.
Now.
I've got comfortable shoes and yoga pants on and a lovely top.
Yeah, and but I think what's going to happen is the demand on fashion. It's going to be like, I want to be comfortable everywhere, but look fancy.
Right?
That's the evolution.
One of the we'll get through this list quickly.
We can share the list too.
We can.
Yeah.
But I have got some really cool graphics I made. So
it'd
be nice to go through them.
But got it.
People who are intentional about resolving conflicts, or people who continue to work on their growth and healing, because that's like forever. We're always growing. We're always healing.
Yeah, and you should always be working on that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you ever are dating somebody who's like, nope, I'm good. I'm all put together. That would be a red flag, but we're talking green flags. And people who, like you said earlier, alignment, compatible goals for the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that's all together. And then, the last one is on this list. There are many lists out there, and we will definitely share it. But it is like people who make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated.
Yeah.
You know, again, the little things. I recognize that you need I was outside taking care of my own car. I took care of your car too in the snow.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
I saw you cook this great dinner for me.
It's thoughtfulness and respect.
Yeah, that's what's those are green flags. So if you're in a relationship or a friendship or whatever, and you
Seeing
are
these
experiencing these things,
good for you. Go for it.
yeah, keep that person around.
Yeah.
We are getting close to the end of our time of the month because it only lasts an hour. We do not flow over.
No,
It's just 1 hour. Thank you so much for joining us on Instagram, joining us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry about Facebook.
We'll get you next time.
We'll get it next time. But it's been great, Emily. The wine was. Thank you, Wine Merchant, for the wine. We will be back next month, the last Wednesday of the month. That's the last Wednesday of every month is our time of the month show. But we'll be back in the end of February.
It's true.
Any last things to say?
I'd say let's think optimistically about this year.
Let's have a lot of green flags for 2021.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.